What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Yamcast. Today is episode 36. 36! Can you believe it? The Yamcast is really getting up there in age. It's about to be 40 years old at some point and then start buying ADVs and give up that sport bike life. Today we've got some cool news from Indian, from Kawasaki, a heavy hitter, and then another piece of news, if I remember correctly.
From KTM.
From Kate, of course, you got one from KTM.
Oh, gotta
you love to hear it.
Bleeding orange.
Gotta bleed that orange. And then we're going to be taking call-ins from our wonderful Discord members as we normally do. And then we have a meme contest today with a bit of a twist. We submitted a couple images of Valentino Rossi that we wanted people to put together in a funny context. Stick around. It's going to be a fun one. Let's get into it. Alrighty, Spite, what do you want to tackle first today?
Let's go with the KTM news because I feel like it's the softball for the week.
Okay.
So, diving in with our KTM news, the 2021 1290 Super Adventure is getting new tech. There's kind of a theme here with new technology this week. The highlight standout feature is cruise control radar. So, I have literally called this one KTM is being Ducati now, where they've literally taken the idea of radar-assisted cruise control and slapped it in the 1290.
Yeah.
So I guess this is the world we live in now, where motorcycles are basically just fancy cars.
This is wild. Yeah, like, I mean, literally a couple weeks ago, we're like, wow, this is wild that Ducati is doing this radar technology. Now KTM is doing it. This might just be normal now. It's advancing so quickly and changing so fast. And, you know, on these top spec adventure bikes, to be honest, the average buyer is probably looking for something kind of like a car. You know, they're literally one step below like a Goldwing DCT airbag rider. So.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Look at the cluster on this thing right here. Look at that. There's so much stuff.
Is that the new PS5 controller?
I mean, it looks like it, doesn't it?
It seriously looks like a controller for a video game.
It looks like you should have like triggers to change change gears there.
Yeah, I know.
But they're saying the WP setup get an update with an electronic brain, so I guess we have semi-active suspension on the, or like I guess fully active
electronic suspension. Yeah, I am not a fan at all of electronic suspension.
Yeah, it seems like this is something where electronics do not belong.
It is just completely unnecessary in my opinion. And you guys can at me in the comments or you can say whatever you want, but I have never found the need to have my suspension constantly thinking and dialing stuff in for me. I just like to set it and use it and work with it, and that's it. It doesn't need to be a computer in my suspension. What do you think?
I mean, so I understand why people like the idea of it, because setting suspension for a normie can be kind of daunting. Right? You know, there's preload, there's rebound, there's compression, there's blah, 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 blah. Setting sag, you got to do all this stuff to get it right. But the thing is you really only have to do it once.
Basically, yeah.
You know?
If you're riding a motorcycle in a fixed condition, right? Like, I mean, yeah, adventure environments can change a little bit. But yeah, if once you set it for your weight and your preference and you like the compression, you like how it feels, you don't have to really mess with it much after that.
Yeah, set it and forget it and you're done. And this is saying that there are 3 suspension modes, comfort, street, and sport, with an optional 2, off-road and auto. The rear shock now has automatic preload and a manual override. Which that's pretty nuts. Like, I guess it must be just, it can take a weight, like it knows how much the spring preload, like the sprung mass is.
Yeah, it must have a sensor that knows based on the compression of the spring how much it needs to set the preload at. Or
it must.
That's so crazy. Yeah,
like it can set its own sag. That's nuts.
Yeah,
and a 7-inch iPad up front.
Just go ahead and, I mean, does it have Apple CarPlay and
I'm sure
Bike Play or whatever you want to call it? I know the Goldwing literally has CarPlay.
It has CarPlay on it.
Which is ridiculous. You know, come on.
This has got to have, it certainly is a KTM, so it's got My Ride in there.
Yeah.
But And they're saying that the price is 14,999 pounds,
which is really cheap, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the V4 Multistrada S is way more than it says it's 20,000 pounds for V4 Multistrada S.
Mm-hmm.
With similar spec and technology.
That is, KTM is coming in strong with that, but this is where we get to the point where, is this too much? Is it too much? Because let's say you're riding along, especially on an adventure bike, you're going out for an adventure, you dump it down, and suddenly you snap one of the things off your fork that automatically adjusts it.
I think this is one of those things where, much like a Mercedes G-Wagon that has crazy, off-road abilities, it's never really going to do that.
No.
It's just for flexing. And I think that's the same thing with this. It's for people with a lot of cash that want to get a top-spec bike. They're never actually going to use it for what it's going to use, because what's probably going to happen is the folks who are going to do that are going to get the other bike we're going to talk about later today.
Yep.
Right? Like, they're going to get something that is much more bare-bones, simple, and fit for the task, as opposed to a ridiculously top-spec crazy bike like this. But to your point, though, I think what's happening in the motorcycle industry is it's not a zero-sum game, right? Like, you go to a KTM dealership and they've got the flagship, jet ski on wheels, 1290 adventure, ridiculous tech package. But then they've got your Sumo on the same floor, right?
Yep.
So,
but I mean, that one's not devoid of tech either.
It's not.
Up-down quick shifter, 6-axis IMU, lean-sensitive ABS,
It's got all the goodies. I mean, even the 390 Adventure has a bunch of goodies and a little TFT and all that. So it is trickling down.
So, follow-up question to what you were saying earlier about how, this is kind of the flex machine.
Yeah.
If this is the flex machine and that's all you want to do, why wouldn't you buy the V4 Multistrada instead?
Well, this is cheaper.
But it's the flex machine, right?
I suppose. So, I mean, if you want a Ducati, you're going to get a Ducati.
Yes.
But if you're cross-shopping these two, I think it's difficult to not make the case for the KTM, right? A KTM 1290 Adventure S. What's this thing called exactly? Super Adventure?
Super Adventure.
Okay, yeah. So it's a 1290 Super Adventure. I mean, that's very similar specifications to a V4 Multistrada S.
Do you think people are cross-shopping them?
They must be, right? It's such a similar type of bike.
But for 5,000 pounds cheaper?
I would wager to say that the average buyer for these bikes is not that price sensitive. I don't think they really care about an extra $5 or $6 grand, honestly. Right?
They probably spent that on their vacation.
Exactly. I'm mere mortals. We have to worry about 5 or 6 extra grand on our bikes. But I personally wouldn't cross shop a $15,000 and $20,000 motorcycle. But
no,
if you're looking at this category, screw it. You throw it in there. So the adaptive ride control, or like radar technology, that's for cruise control and to measure it against the other cars coming and stuff.
Yeah. So it has 5 different modes apparently for that one too. Basically just different ranges at which it adjusts, 5 distance settings.
It has ultra hyper mild draft mode where it lets you just go right up against the car and nearly die.
I love how it says, as well as an overtake assist function. If there's one thing a motorcycle does not need, it's overtake assist.
Especially one with a 1290cc engine. I'm pretty sure it can overtake just fine. Gives you a quick speed boost for lane changing and passing. Yeah,
isn't that what we just call that?
Yeah, this is my lane assist. Yeah, my overtake maneuver.
But yeah, this is freaking nanners, this thing.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next piece of news.
Which is literally the exact opposite of the Super Adventure.
Yep.
It's like, this is the kid in the back of the bus who's like eating his own boogers and stuff.
Yeah, but he's tough as nails.
He's tough as nails. This guy's been getting wedgies all his life.
Damn right. If you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough, right?
Yep.
Welcome to 2022 KLR 650, baby. This was a real surprise, honestly, for me. I did not think this was going to happen.
Well, we called it when we saw that picture of the dirt bike looking thing under a cover.
I really believed it was going to be a Versus 650 thing. I thought it was going to be some hodgepodge Tenere competitor. I didn't think they'd do this.
Which is what Andy Greaser here is saying, is that he, is like the KLR is going to come back and that it's going to be the Z650 parallel twin. Mm-hmm. I kind of assumed that too, which I was desperately hoping it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because that motor, while it is more powerful than what the KLR has, is a really boring engine.
Yeah.
It's a really boring engine.
Yeah, the KLR has personality.
And so
It
this
makes like 38 horsepower.
is a 652cc lump. This is what they called it.
Yeah.
That's, I mean...
Yeah, Andy Greaser here says, fuel injection apparently saved the stalwart 652cc lump from extinction. Yeah. It's true. And it's really cool that the adventure market is really up and coming. We've been saying this for at least 2 years now on the Yammie Noob channel. And it's true. Adventure bikes are getting more and more popular. And if you're not on the adventure train right now, especially in this middleweight segment, you are losing sales left and right.
Oh, yes.
Yamaha literally cannot sell enough Tenere 700s. There's none available here at all. And there's a dude on Twisted Road who has a TL1 up for rent, and he wants $180 a day for it.
Damn.
Because he knows what he got.
He knows what he got. That's awesome.
Yeah. So for KLR, or for the Kawasaki to come out and want to compete in this market, I think they did the smart thing here where it's like, hey, let's not build a Tenere 700 competitor. We've got a bike that everyone loves and that has been languishing in the corner of our dealerships for like 15 years now, Let's do something with it. So this is cool.
It literally looks to me like they took the old KLR and were like, okay, fuel injection. All right, sell it.
It does look like they changed the plastics a teensy bit and then
a teensy bit.
Put fuel injection.
Yep. And it has ABS if you want it. There's actually a no ABS option. So
yeah,
down
that's
here,
good. That's how I'd want my KLR
for the
spec.
Prices, $669 base. And then $699 with ABS, $73.99 for the Traveler.
Yep.
And then $79.9 for the Adventure spec.
Which is really reasonably priced. I think the Adventure spec one, you get way more accessories than you would for the Tenere, for example, right?
Yep.
Like you get in top boxes, a cage, auxiliary lights, all kinds of stuff.
Like you've got your bash guard, you've got not the Kawasaki green milk crate, which is a shame, but the lights are a cool addition. I actually think that's a really neat thing for them to throw on there because
that's something that everyone does.
Yeah. So it's just they just have it on there now.
This is really cool because it seems like they addressed the few things that true diehard KLR guys wanted them to address and nothing else. This is like the bike that everyone talks about how they want to buy and they're like, oh, they'll never make it. Well, they did it. You know? They stiffened up the suspension. They gave it fuel injection. They left all the same shit that you love. So it's the same KLR you've known and loved for the last 35 years. And there you go. Enjoy.
Now will they buy it?
Exactly. Or will they go to Yamaha and be like, that Tenere do be looking good, though. That Tenere do be looking pretty sweet with its 9.5 inches of suspension travel.
Look at this frame, man. Look at how substantial the subframe is on this thing. That is
sort of needlessly so in a way.
That is a chunky subframe right there. And they don't have the exhaust pipe, but it comes up here. There's your exhaust pipe hanger right there.
Yeah. Someone on stream here mentioned that they did make it heavier, and that is true. But you have to remember, in competition with current middleweight adventure bikes, it is right within spec, that 450-ish pound mark. So really, it's not losing out there. Is it massively down on power? Yes, it sure is. Is it massively down on price? Yes, it sure is. So it makes an interesting case for itself. And Cowie's been doing this now for the last 2 years, I'd say, where they're like, we're going to find this like little tiny sliver of the market that no one's in and go in there really cheap.
Yep.
And then sell a fuck ton of bikes. The Ninja 1000, the Sport Tourer, they did exactly that. The 636, for an example, too. I mean, that bike costs less than 10 Gs, which is crazy. So, yeah.
So they're saying 456.
No, hold on, wait. 6.1 gallon fuel tank.
That's big
huge.
Gallon. I think that's bigger than the GS.
That's about as big, yeah.
No, I think it's bigger. The GS has like 5 gallon fuel tank.
The Tiger 850 we had as a press bike had a 5.2. 6.1 is absolutely gigantic.
With the 34.3 inch seat height.
Proper adventure stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I cut you off. What were you going to say?
Weight. We have actually claimed weights here. So 456 for the non-ABS, all the way up to 487 for the full adventure package.
Which makes sense. That stuff does add a lot of weight.
Yeah. That's still a chunky motorcycle. But now here's the question. Liquid cooling, fuel injection, modern engine. What do you think it's going to be making power-wise? It's a thumper, 652 cc's.
I think it will be making a vintage 38 horsepower.
You really think it's going to be that low?
I think at the wheel, right? I think it'll
at the wheel.
I think they're gonna, if they ever put out claimed figures, they're probably gonna say like 45.
You don't think they would try to squeeze like 50?
I don't think they can. They didn't change the engine. It's the same thing.
Maybe.
You think that maybe they put like hotter cams in it or something? I don't think they did.
So they had to change a lot to get it to be Euro 5.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's just for emissions.
Yeah, but emissions, your engine has a lot to do with that.
Well, that concerns me because that would make the power even lower. If they didn't change the power and they squeezed out the emissions on it, that means you're making less power. Do you think the new KLR is making less power than the original one?
No way. That's why I'm thinking they're going to sell it at like 50 horsepower. And then it'll make...
Dude, that'd be crazy if they market that.
That's kind of my
KLR.
gut feeling.
Yeah.
Just with going from shitty carbs and a shitty engine and kind of a shitty bike.
Yeah, it's a fuel injection, liquid cooling, all this stuff. Maybe.
I think they could probably get it done.
It blows my mind, though, that your bike has a... How big is it?
693 cc.
693 cc. Single, and it makes 70-ish horsepower, right?
It's making a lot more now. It's
well, now it makes,
to 80.
but stock from factory, right? Like, yeah, that would be cool if a KLR did that, but it won't.
Oh my god! If a KLR punched like mine did, that would be like the end-all be-all adventure bike.
It
right
would
there.
rip ass for sure. That'd be sweet. But at that point, you should just buy a 690 Enduro, which this is kind of a fat, crappy 690 Enduro. Right?
Yeah, I mean it is. They Husqvarna actually had the 701 Enduro LE, which was it was the Enduro version of the Supermoto, but with a extended range tank. So it was like a big chunky, I think it was close to 5.5 gallons worth of gas on there.
Yeah.
And they actually canceled it, so you can't get one anymore. But
bummer.
Yeah, but that was kind of like the good KLR for a while.
Yeah. Well, it seems like everyone's really stoked that the KLR was updated, but again, it remains to be seen, will diehard KLR guys actually update and buy the new KLR, and will Cowie bring more riders into the KLR fold? It remains to be seen.
I could see myself if it's not making 38 horsepower, but that's kind of the thing.
A guy on stream says it makes at least 34 horsepower from the peak torque figure. So there we go, at least 34 horses. We got it.
Great. That's great.
But this is interesting, too, if you think about it from Cowie's progression, right? So you could start on a KLX 300 now, and then you could go to a KLR 650 if you wanted to, and then you have a jump up beyond that? Do they make
V-Strom?
That's
Suzuki.
They make
I think they make a 1000.
A big boy adventure
versus 1000.
Versus 1000?
Let me check. Let me do a Google. Versus 1000. Yep. They do make a Versus 1000.
Make the Versus 1000.
There you go.
That's a really strange progression, but, you know.
Go straight from the KLR 650 to a Versus 1000.
Yeah.
Well,
interesting. Well, that's the new KLR 650. We'll drop a link down in the description so you guys can check out all the specs and stuff and see if you'd be interested in getting one. We would be loving to ride one if we ever get a chance to hop on one, see if it's any different than the old school KLR. But we have one last piece of news from Indian, right?
One last piece of news from Indian, which I called this one a swing and a miss. So basically what Indian did is they took the FTR 1200 and they revised it a lot for European, they say here, for corner carving Europeans. Basically, essentially what they did is they took what was ostensibly a flat tracker and turned it into a big fat naked bike.
Yeah.
With a really long wheelbase.
And not a particularly hopped up engine.
No. So they went down from the 19-inch front end to 17s. They've changed the tires to be more sporty, although I mean it's still just Metzler's.
Metzler Sport Tech, yeah. I believe the RC390 and some of the other Dukes come with Metzler stock. They're fine tires and they're good for OEMs.
Work.
But the fact is that it's 17s means you can swap in whatever you want. So I assume they're running the standard sport bike, 120, 180 setup.
Yeah,
right?
they're saying that it's going to be get you basically any tire you want. You got a lot of tire options in that 17.
Yep.
And then they're talking about some of the changes and updates. So we have slightly newer dash. It already had a TFT on it.
Yeah.
So they updated a little bit, and they've made some electronic changes. First thing, suspension now has adjustable suspension. Okay, great. So now you're almost with the times 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So
every bike in the category has that.
That's a great start.
Because the issue is, you look at the price, right? Like the FTRs are, it says there, 12,299 pounds
for the base.
For the base, 12,999 for the pounds for the rally, and then the R is 15,599 pounds. And you're talking about a bike that ostensibly is meant to be a sport naked, but again has a really long wheelbase, is kind of heavy, and doesn't produce peak power. Unless you really like the Indian thing and you really want the cool V-twin and the American bike, like there are literally, I think, 5 or 6 other bikes that I would prefer to have over that in that category. Right? Like
a monster.
Like a ZH2. Seriously, that price, 15,599 pounds, that's ZH2 money for sure. For sure.
Yeah. You could
NT10?
Yep.
Super Duke?
Well, you're getting a little close on the Super Duke.
Baby.
That's that one. Is that not?
That's like 18, right?
It's like 18.9, I think.
There's the new Speed Triple too.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. That I don't.
This marketplace is really crowded, especially when you consider what they've done. So the base model gets your adjustable suspension.
Yeah.
Right. And that's okay. They've modded the engine for smoother response, and they've deactivated a cylinder when it's idling.
That's kind of neat.
Okay, great, fine.
But it makes 120 horsepower.
It makes 120 horsepower. Then your S, so now model up, comes with the titanium Akrapovic pipe as standard. Then moving up comes with the Öhlins and carbon fiber panels and a black Akrapovic pipe. So is that really worth it to just have Öhlins suspension on a bike that is not designed to take advantage of it?
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, this is, and you were talking about this is a bike that began its life as a thoroughbred 750 flat tracker, right? Which is the bike we thought we were going to get. We're like, we're going to get this sick 750cc, like flat track, hopped up, stupid, crazy bike. And then India was like, well, how many people are actually going to buy that? So they made a Scout in a flat track style thing and did all that, right? And, if it's a flat track bike, it's a flat track bike. Don't turn the flat track bike into a sport bike because it's not the same thing.
No.
Again, it's a really long bike. It's a really heavy bike. It's not... I've ridden an FTR. It does not handle like a sport naked bike.
No. It's because it's not what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
It's literally just not designed for it. They did narrow the rake a little bit. Like they steepened it up just a bit, but you're not going to shave 4 inches of wheelbase off.
No. Because let's do this really quick. Look up the wheelbase on the FTR and then look up the wheelbase on a Super Duke.
FTR, the Super Duke has a crazy narrow wheelbase. FTR 1200 wheelbase. 60 inches.
60 inches.
All right. Super Duke. Let's throw the 1290 in there. Wheelbase.
Wheelbase is 1497 millimeters, so that's 149, almost 150 centimeters. So we have to convert.
So 150 centimeters.
Yeah, 150 centimeters to inches.
59. That's pretty close.
I guess it's the same. Oh, why did the FTR feel so long then? I thought it was a much longer wheelbase and a much longer bike.
It might have been with the 19s.
Maybe. Well, now I just feel silly.
I mean,
I thought it was a lot stumpier.
Or maybe the Super Duke is a little longer.
Well, I don't know. Regardless, this bike wasn't designed to be a sport bike, and it doesn't handle like one. I've ridden one, and it really doesn't handle like one. But, this to me, Indian's pitching this as like a massive update over the original FTRs. And this just feels like it's the FTR line that should have been released in the first place in reality, right?
Yeah.
And at least the rally still exists, so you can still get it with the 19 setup, right? So that is cool.
Which I feel like that's the bike to get if you're getting the FTR.
Yeah. It's the heritage flat track. Yeah. It's the cool thing to get. And it's meant to just slide around. That's the big thing about it. It's literally meant to be on flat gravel or dirt or hard pack stuff and just slide the rear wheel around.
Yep.
That's all it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Kind of a swing and a miss here. I feel like Indian doesn't understand the motorcycle that they're trying to sell to people.
I think so, yeah. I think they saw that Harley wasn't going to make the Bronx, and they were like, quick, let's make a sport bike and throw 17s on it. It's like, maybe a little bit. But, hey, if we can ride one, that would be cool, and we will check it out and show you guys. But that is going to do it for the news this week. We're now going to move to the call-in portion of the podcast. Stick around.
God, I feel so cool with these earmuffs on, man.
I feel cool because I already modified mine, bro.
You modified, you broke it.
Within the first 3 minutes of owning it.
Yep. It literally pulled them right out and was like, I don't want this. Snap. It didn't put up much of a fight either. It just came right off.
It's like it was a $12 headset, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
Cutting costs here at Yammie Noob. Alrighty, guys, we're now in the call-in portion of our podcast. If you want the chance to call us in when we do these, hit the link down below, join on yammynoob.co, become a member. We do these live for our members on Discord, and we have a nice time hanging out. It's a pretty low-key, like very tight-knit live stream here. You don't have like a bunch of people joining up. It's actually pretty mellow, and it's a ton of fun. So we're about to put the number up and take our first calls. Hey there, you are on the Yamcast. How's it going?
How's it going? Hey, I had a couple questions on some bikes.
Yeah.
I've been trying to look for a first bike.
Happy to help.
And so I took a look at some dealerships and also some private sales stuff. Mm-hmm. I saw like a Ducati 696, but it's from 2012. What's it like to own a Ducati from that year, that time? Is it really expensive?
So Ducati's made really good strides, I would say, in the last 5 years in terms of quality and the types of bikes they make. Early 2010s Ducatis are okay. You're not looking at like a mid-2000s or 1990s Ducati, which was like basically a maintenance nightmare in my opinion. But the 696, was that a monster you were looking at?
Yeah, Ducati Monster 696.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Spite, if I remember correctly, that's the one we tested against the SV650, right?
That is what we tested against the SV650.
That's a sweet little bike. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was great.
Gotcha.
I loved the sound. I loved the way it felt. The throttle was velvety smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I think the main thing to consider on a Ducati that you're buying used is the mileage.
Yep.
And with that, has the Desmo been done? Because that's a Desmo bike. And B, has it been taken care of otherwise? Because you can say, oh, the Desmo's been done, but if you look at it and like bolts are stripped out and it's rusty, and especially on a Ducati, that kind of stuff adds up really fast.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. And then now I've also been looking a lot of like private sales stuff, and usually on the I see a couple of like FZ07s from like 2015. Oh, sorry, is it the FZ07? Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And then and those ones are sometimes you see a couple of them for a pretty reasonable price, probably the same price as a 2012 Ducati from a dealer. So how would you compare those two? I mean, those two bikes are both ones that I've looked at throughout my
I mean, they're both basically right in the same class. They're both a very similar type of bike, like twin cylinder, almost 700-ish cc kind of bikes, really fun, torquey, fun to ride. The FZ07, I can almost guarantee you, has been abused. People literally buy those bikes to wheelie and do dumb shit with them, I'm not going to lie. So if it's a 2015, just check the mileage, check what kind of life it's lived. But I mean, people really beat those bikes up real good.
Gotcha.
So that's the only thing about them. But they're damn near unkillable, but they do get beat up pretty good.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. So those are the considerations I'll take a look at when I'm looking there. And maybe if I can get a good deal from the dealer, then maybe I'll go with the Ducati. If not, SC07, baby.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'd say the FZ07, just because it's like a tried and true. It's a tried and true bike, man. It's gonna work well. I'd say go for it, and they sound awesome with an exhaust.
Ooh, the apricot product, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Sorry
All
to
right.
take so much time.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate
See
it.
ya.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
See, that's a guy right there who went on forums and they were like, you should get a Ninja 650. You should get a Versus 650. He's like, fuck you. I'm getting a Ducati.
Yep.
Love it. Love it.
Again, another thing that I would have told, 5 years ago, Spite, just get a monster.
Hey, the champ, you're on the Yamcast. How's it going?
What's going on, man? KLX 300 versus the CFR 300L.
CRF 300L, the new one?
Yeah.
Kyle mode all the way.
You want to go Kyle mode and get the Cowie?
Yeah, because the Honda's just.
I really feel like the Honda, I don't know what it is, but I feel like they vastly overrate the horsepower. Those CRFs are dog shit slow. Mm-hmm. They don't feel anywhere near as fast as the WR250, let alone a 300.
And they're heavy.
I think the KLX could be cool. Yeah. That would be my vote. But I have not ridden either 300, so that's just my gut impression.
Yeah.
All right. I'm good.
He's like, I'm sorted. See you later.
The Honda Symphony is leaning towards the CRF just because weight-wise, they are very similar. Mm-hmm. I think it's like a 5-6 pound difference.
Yeah.
But the price is also lower. It's one of the few cases where Honda has come in with the lower value.
Really? I didn't know that. I thought the Kawasaki was cheaper than the Honda.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare for Honda to be the cheaper of the two. But
it is, yeah. Well, I mean, either way, both bikes are basically going to be bulletproof. They're little single cylinders from a Japanese manufacturer. They'll just work and work and work. Would this be your first bike?
No. I'm on the Discord. I got the Trail 125.
Oh, nice. Oh, dude, you're that guy. Yeah, from Tucson, right?
No, New Jersey.
New Jersey. Yeah, okay, never mind. There's a guy in Tucson that has a 125 as well. So, yeah. But nice, the Trail 125 Simp. So did you actually got that bike, or is that a bike you're going to get, or are you actually riding it?
I'm riding the Trail 125 everywhere.
Nice.
Thing's awesome.
I saw the 125 at a dealership the other day, and they're actually quite a bit larger than I thought they would be. They're definitely not as mini moto as I thought they would be. They're actually kind of full size, which is cool.
Yeah, no. And people confuse it with a moped, scooter, but it's I'm having a blast on it.
It's a real bike.
I gotta always preface no, it's a motorcycle.
Yeah,
I swear.
I bet you. I don't know what your situation is like in life, but I bet you that's a bike that gets a lot of girls. Honestly.
I'm married. I got 2 kids.
But that doesn't stop you from going out to the town with your Trail 125 and picking up the honeys. Because that's a bike, and I'm going to tell myself again, that gets girls. Because women like an approachable, cute little thing. They don't want some, fucking ZH2, Kyle Energy, disgusting looking, powerful. They want something approachable, friendly, It's the same thing with cars. They don't want some angular, disgusting looking thing. They like something friendly. A convertible, a Miata, right?
Yeah, they want the Miata.
They like Miatas. The Trail 125 is like a Miata. Anyways, I've gone off with the tangent here. I would say go for the Honda if you get it for cheaper price, but the Cowie is definitely the one I would get because I got that Kyle Energy in me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The Supermoto KLX looks nice too.
That's the one Spite would get for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right. Have a good one.
Quick ones tonight. This bike or this bike? This bike. Okay, bye.
Yeah. This is the Discord summed up. What do you think? I think this. Okay, bye. Hey there, Ender. You're on the Yamcast. How's it going?
Hey, Yammie, how you guys doing?
Good. What can we do for you?
Hey, I was looking on Aprilia's website today, and I was curious what the differences were of the RS660 and the Tuono 660. To the naked eye, it just seems like, different handlebars and about it, but I was curious what you guys thought about it. I'm sure you guys know.
Yeah, you're not too far off. That's kind of all they've done. They dropped the price a little bit on the Tuono 660, and they put bars on it, and the plastics are a little bit different, but that's kind of it, right? But I didn't really clock any differences.
Yeah, I think they're making the same power. It's a little bit lighter because it doesn't have the full fairings and stuff, so it's like just a hair over 400 like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
The Tuono is like 5 horsepower less.
Yeah, I think the Tuono makes a teensy bit less peak horsepower, but you wouldn't really feel it. It's in my opinion just really like a styling exercise, and just to get it to fit in the family of like the RS and Tuono bikes, but not too much more different. The only big difference though is because it has those handlebars, the ergonomics are going to be very different. It's going to seat very upright, very comfortable, even more so than the RS660, which is not a super aggressive bike in the first place.
Yeah, I guess for just street riding, it seems a little better.
It seems perfect. I mean, geez, the Tuono 660 looks like the perfect street bike.
Yep.
Yeah, I called in last week about the Trident and the RS660. So the Tuono looks pretty good. I mean, it's a little $800 cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems pretty appetizing, I guess. But
yeah,
I appreciate it, guys.
We're actually, just really quick before you go, we're actually going to get, I've got my RS660 showing up here in about 2 weeks. I ordered an acid gold one and it's finally getting delivered. And then we're also going to have the double Trident giveaway for the beginner bike. So lucky for you, we'll be cross-comparing this RS660 and the Trident. So if you haven't decided on a bike by then, we'll have a referendum on them.
I'm thinking of like 2022 to pick it up because I just want to wait till the year rolls around. You know,
okay.
For first year bikes always have some kind of little gremlins going on, but they'll figure that out come the following year.
Yeah, that's a solid move. All right, man. Well, best of luck.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, later.
Keeping it going. This bike or this bike?
Yep. Well, I love how that guy was like, I called the other time for the Trident and the RS. He's like, but now maybe a Tuono, you know? I'm like,
That's what happens.
Yeah. Badassler, how's it going? Long time no chat.
Howdy, gentlemen.
What can we do for you?
So, with the recent acquisition of the Tenere, I've been thinking about selling my Duke since I just don't have time to ride 2 motorcycles.
Spite is shaking his head in shame.
I was curious what your preferred method of transacting payment on a private motorcycle sale is.
Ooh, that's a great one. Because I've done this many times. If it's not a super expensive bike, I do prefer just good old cold hard cash. That's my preferred way. If you're trying to sell something closer to 5 figures, I normally don't mind a cashier's check or something like that. It's normally what I do. Spite, what's your preference?
Cashy money.
Yeah.
Definitely just cold hard cash. Definitely.
Makes it easiest, yeah.
Because then you could, if you want, you just turn
Blow it
that
at the
into
strip
another
club.
motorcycle.
Blow it at the strip club.
Oh yeah.
That's what you wanted to say.
Strip club. You need to go get it changed into singles though. Although inflation has that. Yeah.
Nah, ball out of control. Drop those honeys.
Just start.
Come on, man.
Stuff in 20s.
Yeah, this man's about to go sell his Duke, go show up with the Tenere, pull the honeys out of the panniers, and go to the strip club full ADV gear, highlighter yellow.
I was going to say, they won't be impressed. It's quite dirty right now.
But the question is, when you get rid of the KTM, is the KTM garage mat going to go with it?
Ooh.
No. I have 2 of those garage mats. One's in my shed and one's in my garage.
I like those. Yeah, no, you should put the Tenere on those and be like, well, could have been a KTM, but I got the better bike instead.
It's a little confused. It's fine.
Yeah. Quick question for you, because I'm actually curious, because you're like the only guy I know that has a Tenere. What all have you done to it? Because I know you've been busy modifying it, and you really actually ride it off-road, which is cool.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. See if I can remember everything. I did new closed cartridge forks and
ooh, wow.
progressive springs in the front. I did a new rear shock assembly with a progressive spring in the back, heavier springs on both. I did a tail tidy, obviously.
Of course.
I did a slip-on initially, although I wasn't really happy with the sound. So tomorrow I have coming new headers and pipe.
You are going to love that.
Going for it, yeah.
I love the sound of that bike.
I got a Power Vision to work out any kinks there. What else did I do? Grips, usual little things like grips, better bark busters.
Yeah. Remind me again, what color is your Tenere?
It's the blue.
Nice. Yeah.
The only color.
No, I like the white one. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, with the white with the red.
The white and the red, dude. Oh, so good.
Yeah, there's a bunch of. I got like a longer clutch activation arm, so the pull's a little lighter. So because I did a shorty lever on the clutch because I only use 2 fingers. Yeah, just a bunch of little little things here and there.
Yeah.
There's not much of it that I haven't messed with at this point.
That's cool. I'm glad you're using it and really working through it. I like seeing the photos you post up because you live up in the Pacific Northwest, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep, up in the Columbia River Gorge.
That's a great spot. Oh, man, that's a great spot to own an adventure bike. Jealous. Jealous.
It is. There's more trail here than I could ever ride in a lifetime.
God, that's awesome. But yeah, I would say if you're not using the KTM, just sell. I mean, I did that with my RC390. I got to a point where my 675R and I were really gelling, and I was putting down good lap times with it. I just sold the bike, and I just didn't need it anymore. So if you find yourself just not really riding it or using it, just get rid of it. What do you think, Spite?
Yeah.
I'm gonna disown you when you get rid of it, but I mean, you got to do what's right.
I still have the KTM. I still have the 250.
Yeah, he's got a dirt bike.
It's not a Duke.
He's a 250 dirt bike, bro.
The Duke is one of a kind, man.
Yeah, come on. You don't even own a Duke.
honest,
You got a Sumo.
I got like it has the Duke's heart in it though. The 690 was the 690 Duke's engine. So I have a little bit in me. Although mine is a little different.
I really want to trade the Duke in for a pristine CR500 that I found at a dealership in Portland just to have a CR500.
You should 100% do that. That is a terrible decision, but you should do it.
Just
buy a 90s two-stroke. Yes. All right, man. Get that CR. Let us know how it goes. Yeah. Please post up photos of it. I hope it has the awesome 90s graphics. That would be sick.
Oh, yeah. Will do.
Yeah. All right, man. Later.
See ya.
Ed Astro's a good dude. He is the Discord moderator. So all of you who are behaving badly on Discord, he comes and bans you. We don't ban that many people. Yeah, we have 3 moderators.
We have 3 mods. Yeah. Blue, Kielna, and Badassler.
Yep. Mr. Wade, how's it going?
Oh, it's good. How are you guys today?
Good. What can we do for you?
Good. Glad to hear it. So just a comment and then a question for Spite. Comment, I got to see your RS660 at Eurocycle, man.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful bike.
Dude, I am very excited to take delivery of it. Trust me.
Oh, man, that's gorgeous. I got to see the Moto 2 that they had there, too. I think it was the one that they sent you, even.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I sat on it and everything. It's a cool bike, but I know listening to what you said about the power, it's not what it should have been for a Daytona.
Yeah, it disappointed me a bit, but it's still gorgeous and really cool and limited edition, but it wasn't quite there. Yeah, but I'm really happy. So the RS looked pretty good in person.
Oh man, I sat on. So they had the blue one and the yellow one right next to each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, they both had sold tags, and I asked the guy, I was like, can I sit on one? And he's like, just don't scratch it. And I was like, I know how to ride. Like, I'm not gonna scratch a bike sitting on it. So I pulled everything out of my pockets and I threw a leg over the blue one and I, mounted up and I was like, man, the ergonomics on it feel really good. The seat has just the right amount of plushness. So I have a Daytona. I have an 06 Daytona.
Sweet.
Far, far less comfortable than that RS660.
Okay,
sure.
Cool. So it really is way more approachable, as they say, right? It's not like a race bike at all.
Yeah, no, you're not committed. So the rear sets are a little lower, a little bit more forward. You don't have actual clip-ons. They're clip-ons, but they come up. They kind of have risers.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
swing up. So yeah, you are a little bit more upright, but it's still comfortable, or it's still enough aggressive that you can tuck in on it and get in a real good tuck position if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a really cool bike. Have you been to the Eurocycle in Vegas?
No, I mean, Chris, my guy over there, keeps inviting me, but with the COVID stuff, we've decided to kind of postpone that. But he keeps telling me I got to come out there and we're going to do a track day and see their museum and stuff. I know they have all kinds of cool shit there.
Oh, they had a Super Veloce sitting right next to sitting right next to the Daytona, to the Moto 2.
Christ.
They have race bike. They have a S1000RR full race bike, so no lights, no nothing, just full setup for race.
That's badass.
The upstairs that's the museum. They have a MV Agusta F4 sitting up there, but around it they have. I couldn't even tell you all the bikes. Old Ducatis, like the original Super Sport.
Wow.
One of the older Panigale. I was walking in there just jaw on the floor the whole time. My wife was next to me like, you're ridiculous. You don't get it, honey. This place is heaven. I could live in this dealership right now.
Chris has exquisite tastes. I emailed him the other day and sent him a photo of the ZH2 we got as the giveaway. And he was like, bro, that's nothing. I'll send you a Bamoti Tezzy H2 you can try out. I was like, yes. It's like, yes, I will take that very much, yes.
Yeah, they did have a Royal Enfield in the used section, but it was like tucked way in the back, kind of hiding. And I was like, yeah, that's where it belongs.
Yeah, I told him to do that. I was like, put it in the dumpster.
Yeah, that 675R, one of the older ones in the used. They're used like they have the 954 CBR sitting in there. I mean,
ooh, nice.
It's quite the place to get to go in and just look at all the bikes. They let you sit on most everything. They have one of the Triumph Thruxtons that's it's based like an old cafe racer.
Yeah, those
but
are
it has
sweet.
The strap like the Super Veloce that holds the tank down. I mean, it's just a phenomenal place to get to walk into and just look around.
Yeah, I'm hoping that one day we can make a trip out there because that would be such a cool trip to go to Las Vegas and do a track day out there at their facility and then check out the Eurocycle dealership. I mean, that'd be so fun. Yeah. But you had a question for Mr. Spite, is that right?
Yeah, I did. So, Spite, I watched your video today about the roads in America. I have to agree with Highway 12. I live about, half an hour from the mouth of Highway 12.
Right.
So I've ridden all that and all the mountains. Beautiful, beautiful road. They need to pave it. They need to do some work on it, but it's still a great road. But why did you leave out the General's Highway in California through Sequoia National Park?
Because there were only 10, and there's nothing saying we can't make another video. Honestly, the ones that I picked for this one were the ones that I just desperately wanted to do myself. They were the roads that I was looking at and studying and thought, fuck, I need to get some bags on my supermoto and hit the road. So,
this man's been talking about the TAT for the last couple of days. You keep bringing it up every day.
Yeah, no, I'm after looking into it and seeing all the shit that you see on it.
Yeah.
It's like it's the thing now. I gotta do it.
Maybe we can do a Yammie Noob sabbatical and we just tackle the whole thing.
That would be crazy. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to the video when you do.
Yeah. Well, hey, if we ever make it out toward there to Eurocycle, we'll definitely have to link up, do like a little meetup or something. That'd be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I'm moving to San Antonio in April-ish. I'm going to be pretty much living at Harris Hill once I get out there.
Oh, hell yeah. Sweet. Yeah, then I'll definitely see you there then because that's like my home track at this point, basically.
Yeah, and speaking of home track and Harris Hill, have you ever thought of doing something like on the channel when you get these loaner bikes or you're testing bikes, have you ever thought about taking them out to Harris Hill on the Mondays and just setting lap times and like comparing lap times across different bikes and everything like that?
Yeah, I really want to do that, but to be honest, selfishly, I like taking my race bike out there more than anything else. But I think it would be fun once I get like a trailer set up. I can bring 2 bikes with me. That way, I can get some track time on my personal bike and then take a loaner bike or a giveaway bike, and like you said, start putting up some leaderboard times for each of the machines.
Yeah, doing kind of like what they do on Top Gear,
Yeah.
Running you have the same track every time, same person on the bike, so you're not messing up, you're not losing times because different people are riding it and stuff. But
yeah, that would be cool. Well, we're doing something fun on track here pretty soon. We're gonna get Spite, Josh, and hopefully Whitney as well to do hot laps on the Gixxer 250 at Harris Hill. So that's gonna be fun.
Oh, getting that 30-minute lap time.
Absolutely, putting down that 2-minute spicy lap time at Harris Hill.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But, all right. Well, that was about all. Like I said, I just wanted to tell you I saw your 660, and man, gosh, I can't get that bike out of my head. I've won a 660 really, really bad. That's probably going to be my next bike.
Yeah, I'm really excited to try it and ride it. And, selfishly, I bought it a little bit earlier than I needed to for the giveaway, but I really want to test it and use it and, really get used to it for a little bit. But it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm glad to see that you liked it and it popped in person because I'm super excited about it.
Oh, yeah. You'll love it, I'm sure. It's a gym.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, man. Well, thanks for calling and catching up with us. I appreciate it.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.
All right, later. That 6.6 is going to pop so hard, dude.
Yeah. I didn't know you got it in the yellow.
Yeah. I got it in the acid yellow.
Not my colorway, but it's going to hit hard that way.
Chris called me and he was like, hey, so we got 2 R660s in. He was like, and I got a pre-order on the blue one and red one for you, and I got the yellow one for me. He's like, you sure you want the blue one? I was like, give me the yellow one.
Call from
German 2 boy.
Hey. German 2 boy, what is going on?
What's up, guys? Can you understand me all right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Cool, because I'm having trouble with my Wi-Fi and stuff. So I have maybe 2 things. Going back to the highway and road video you did, Spite. One thing I never understood is that people in the US say small bikes can't keep up on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Because I know 125 riders going on the Autobahn, and that's not a slow road, to be honest.
Because
I never had any problems.
I think I know what you're going to say, Spite.
It's because Americans are very, very preoccupied with the size of their members and the number of their engine displacement is directly proportional to the size of their manhood, and they cannot separate the two. And so to disparage the smaller riders, they're like, oh, you got a little girl's bike that can't do the highway speed.
See, I was thinking here that the median size of the American male is much larger than the European male, and so power to weight goes down when you're here in America on a little bike. That's what I was thinking.
No, it's all about just a pissing contest.
Well, I think the thing here in America is they don't understand that you don't need to have a bike with a ton of passing power to do well on the highway. Like, I took the Gixxer 250 on the highway, a bike that almost everyone here in America thinks is incapable of going on our highways, and you'll get run over. And I was passing people just fine. I was keeping up at like 85. Yeah. It'll do it. It kind of sucks doing it, but it'll do it. And I'm sure it's the same story for the 125s in Germany, where it's like, yeah, it'll go on the Autobahn. It just kind of sucks doing it. So I think that's the only thing, really. And also, we don't sell 125s here, right? You got to keep in mind that the smallest bike we have on the showroom floor that is like normal highway legal probably is the Gixxer 250 or like a Ninja 400 or an R3 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's my idea on it.
Duke 200.
Yeah. Duke 200. Got to get one of those. Got to try it out.
Because I mean, with the 400, I regularly go like 120 miles per hour, so that's not.
Weren't you just a fancy squid, German A2 boy?
Yeah. Just flexing a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people here just they think of the engine power and horsepower as you are good. They equate that to being good.
And it's so dumb.
You can have way more fun on a smaller bike, and they just don't understand that.
Yeah. Although I was riding the ZH2 today, and man, I could live with 200 horsepower. I definitely could.
Going full Brox mode.
Yeah. What else you got for us, German A2 boy?
The other thing is just a teeny bit of European emissions regulation news. Because as you might know, we have like the new Euro 5 norms since this year. Mm-hmm. And Kawasaki has actually cut the Ninja 400 and Z400 for the European market. They don't exist anymore.
Oh, really?
They won't update them for Euro 5. They will sell off the remaining stock they have, and they will not update it for 2021, 2022.
That's actually really surprising.
And which models again were those?
Z400 and Ninja 400.
Wow.
And probably the 636 is quite problematic.
That's actually crazy, because that's, I'm sure, a big seller for them, especially the 400s.
Mm-hmm.
The 400 isn't.
It isn't?
Like they sell less for Z400s and Ninja 400s combined last year than Ducati sold Street Fighters. Ducati
what?
Sold, I think, Ducati sold 1,100 Street Fighters, and Kawasaki sold around 600, 550 Z400s and 450 Ninja 400s.
That is mind-boggling. I guess I don't understand the German consumer at all, but that's incredible.
Meanwhile, Kawasaki sold 3,000 Z900s, and BMW sold 10,000 GS 1250s.
I would have thought that the Ninja 400 did great because of the A2 bike stuff.
Yeah, but people in Germany are somehow like the S people with the displacement, because the best-selling, one of the best-selling A2 bikes is the CBR 500, because the people think, it has 500 cc's and it must be better.
What a shame. Like, if anyone had ever ridden those two bikes back to back, you would always pick the 400. Yes. Always. I mean, it's so much better.
I rode the 400, I rode the R3, and I rode the CB500F. Not the CBR 500R, but the CB500F. And of those three bikes, the Ninja was just so much better.
It's so much better.
Because the R3 is just not getting any speed, because it's just a little bit underpowered for my weight, at least, because I'm like spite sized. And the CBR, the CB500 is just fat. Like, I can understand it's like pokey and it has like torque and stuff, but it just doesn't want to go like the 400 does.
Yeah. Well, I would have never guessed that. That's crazy.
No, I mean, I also figured that, you know, the Germans were having too much fun on supermotos to mess around with baby sport bikes, but
the 690 SMCR is the 5th most selling bike in Germany. So
the 5th most?
It's all about 5th most. Yeah, they sold. Wait a second, I have it here. They sold a total of 2,500 690s, and Kawasaki actually sold 3,000 Z650s.
Huh.
That's crazy.
And Yamaha did like 3,200 MT-07s. And then there's the Z900 and then the R1290 at 1250 GS.
It seems like your people are in Germany, Spite.
Yes.
It does seem that way.
Yeah, they are.
Got to get out there and ride the Autobahn on a supermoto.
Oh, God. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. How to commit die.
Yeah. It really is. A friend of mine has a 690, had it until it was stolen, and he said going over 150, 160 was like torturous.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, he was rocking an enduro helmet, but...
That sounds like me when I use the fin on every bike we test. And I'm like, why does my head hurt? Yeah. All right, Germany too. Well, we're sorry to hear about the Ninja 400 and the Z 400 there in Germany. We will still be selling them here in America if you ever make your way over here and you need to buy another one for some reason. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have mine, so I'm happy.
You're going to upgrade to a 636 anyways come May, so you'll be good.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right,
guys.
man. We'll catch
Nice
you later.
talking to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, guys, we're flipping over to this camera because this one died. We're going to the meme contest for the week. Let's get into it. And if you're listening to this podcast, you need to go to YouTube to see the full audiovisual experience of the meme contest, just so you know. Alrighty, guys, this is the meme contest of the week. And this week, since we've determined the best manufacturer in the world, of course, Kawasaki, right? That was the final winner. All right, we all know that now, so we had to do something different this week. We have a couple photos of Valentino Rossi, and we told our Discord boys to send us the strangest or goofiest or funniest meme they could based on those photos. Today's category is for creativity, quality, and funniness. That's how we're grading these memes for today. So let's get into it.
So our first one comes to us from Red Baron with an actually pretty damn good Photoshop job.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So classic meme format, the change my mind thing. And he's got Bernie in the back too. Did you see that?
Yep, he's got Bernie just sitting there.
Yeah, so he has it looks like a moldy trophy. What is that on the desk?
It's I think it's one of the old it gotta be some old GP trophy.
Doesn't look like, because the GP trophy is that cool spirally thing. But anyways, he says RS250 is better than Gixxer 250. Change my mind. Well, of course it is. It's an old two-stroke 250. It's way better than the Gixxer 250. No one's gonna change your mind on that. But I do love this format, and that is a great meme. I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, did a good job on that. The Photoshop job here is
really good. And also the bike is almost on the same plane as the floor as well. It looks pretty good.
He even put the Aprilia logo down here.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. So, creativity.
I'm thinking, how about a 7?
A 7.
Pretty solid, yeah.
Quality. This one's going to be pretty high.
Pretty high quality, yeah. How about a 7.5?
A 7.5. Starting out high here. And funniness.
How about a 6.5?
A 6.5. Next one comes to us from CNCPT_I.
So it's Valentino Rossi gazing longingly, and I actually don't know who that is.
Diana Ross.
It's Diana Ross.
Diana Rossi.
Oh, Diana Rossi. Nice. This is a subtle one. I didn't get it at first. Yeah, I like that. Valentino Rossi, such an emotive guy, you know? So memeable.
He's definitely like one of the just characters of GP.
I mean, he's, in my opinion, the most charismatic rider.
Yes.
Not only probably the GOAT, but also just one of the most charismatic. I mean, his post-victory celebrations he's had over the years, like the guys all falling in the bowling pins and the bullfighters. I mean, he's done so much fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's why people love him, you know?
He's just such a wholesome dude.
Yeah.
So, creativity here.
I think that was pretty good because the whole Diana Rossi thing, you know, kind of a subtle meme there. How about a 6?
A 6. Quality here.
Pretty decent little Photoshop job. How about a 6 as well?
A 6.
Yeah.
And funniness.
What do you think for funniness?
It's kind of like a dad joke to me.
Yeah.
Diana Rossi.
That's kind of a dad joke. How about a 5?
A 5.
For the dad jokes.
17. Next one coming from Urzu.
So Urzu, a meme about me, supposedly. Valentino Rossi looking kind of confused. Says, so you're telling me this man is neither a noob or rides a Yamaha? I think, yeah, it's accurate. I actually don't own a Yamaha anymore. Yeah, I haven't owned a Yamaha for a while.
Last one would have been the XSR 700?
No, the R1, right?
The R1, yeah.
The R1 was the last Yamaha that was in the shop. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, the MT-09 is right in here.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, forget all the bikes that we have.
There are so many just revolving cast of characters in the
It is kind of
shop.
crazy, yeah. So I technically do own a Yamaha right now. It's not my bike, it's a giveaway bike. But yeah, don't own a Yamaha. I'd love to own another R1, but yeah, I like that one. It's pretty good.
Yep. So, creativity here.
I think this one is a 6.5.
A 6.5. Just kind of just top text, bottom text.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Quality.
Top text, bottom text, a 5?
A 5.
Yeah.
Funniness.
I'd say pretty funny. How about a 6?
A 6. 17.5. Next one comes from Breezy Wonder.
Says the Harley salesman seeing me walk into the dealership, he's all surprised, and then his face when I ask about the FZ09 they have starts to cry because I'm trading in the Ninja 400 for an FZ09. And then my face after buying the bike, giving the dealer a lowball offer since they knew nothing about metric bikes. So this is a great one because this guy called in, right? That
told us the story
told
last
us the
week.
story about how he used the Harley dealership for his metric bike swap there, which is
and then
great.
he had to take it back to get it worked on at the Harley dealership.
Oh my God. Get yourself to a real dealership. You'll have a better experience, I assume. But that's pretty good. I like this. Yeah, that's awesome. Good storytelling.
Unfortunately, though, for me personally, I got to knock it down because this guy sent it to me as a PDF.
Oh, man, a PDF.
I had to go and find a PDF converter for this thing.
You're knocking down the quality for
Just
it.
a little bit, yeah.
All right, so creativity was pretty good. I think a 7 is in order there for creativity.
7, yep.
And then I would give you a decent quality score, but Spite might have to dock you for the PDF. So I was going to say a 7.5 for quality, but you want to dock for the PDF?
Yeah, I'm going to take that half point off. It's going to be a 7.
All right, a 7 for quality.
Funniness, though.
Pretty funny. How about a 7.5?
A 7.5.
And he utilized a lot of the faces.
Yeah, he like told the whole story there.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I like seeing that. So, next one comes to us from Chef Spritzer. It's going to be kind of hard to read.
Says, the 2-cent balance in my bank account, me waiting to win that Panigale V2 after buying $15 hoodies, or 15 hoodies, me on Wednesday. That is great. Yeah. We've got a guy
doing
in front of
something
the
out
shop.
there.
Yeah. Don't know why. That's a great meme.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
So, our creativity.
I'd say that's pretty high. Again, the storytelling. I think a 7.5 for creativity. That's pretty good.
A 7.5.
Yeah.
Quality.
7? What do you think?
Yeah, I think a 7.
7? Yeah.
Funniness.
I think an 8. It got a good chuckle out of me.
Yes, an 8. New leader at 22.5.
Well, you're in first place right now, so you might have not won the Panigale, but you might win a gift card.
Next one comes to us from Hacksaw SF.
When you realize you look like Carrot Top. He does kind of look like Carrot Top. I
Yeah.
never noticed that.
Bit.
He does look like a Mediterranean Carrot Top. Which sounds like a wonderful dish at a restaurant. The Tavuli Carrot Top, right?
Get a little side of pita and chips.
There you go.
Or
Yeah.
pita chips and hummus.
It's a great thing.
All right.
Simple but effective.
Yes, creativity.
Yeah. Creativity. You know what? It is just bottom text or top text, bottom text, but it's pretty creative. He kind of roasted Rossi in the meme, which is I didn't expect that. How about a 7? That's pretty
7.
good.
Quality.
It is just top text, bottom text. So I have to give it like a 5, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funniness though.
But pretty funny. How about a 7.5?
A 7.5.
Yeah.
19.5. Next up, German A2 boy, and he's got
a
our
video, right?
video.
Audio visual experience.
Yep, and it's he's renamed this New Boy Dethroned the Motorbike Star.
German A2 Boy Productions presents. This should be good.
Unfortunately, we are going to have to mute that one
We
when
will
we
have
go
to
to
mute that
YouTube.
for copyright,
so
yeah.
You just got to go back, you got to listen to Video Killed the Radio Star. But that one...
Was there any hidden meaning of why it was Video Killed the Radio Star or why he chose that? Or
Because,
what was
again, it
what's
was...
the idea there?
What was the name of it? New Boy Dethroned the Motorbike Star.
Ah, got it.
Yep.
Got it. Yeah.
So, our creativity here.
And that he did. He robbed him of his 10th title, one would say. Well, honestly, Rossi robbed himself of the title. He bungled it in 06, bungled it in 07.
Yep.
Bungled it in 2015 was the final year. It's like, Rossi, if you don't do it, and then he kicked Marquez off the bike. I was like, okay, well, you don't want it then, whatever. Anyways.
He's certainly not doing it again after this year.
I would be shocked if Rossi was in championship contention on a Petronas bike next year with everything else that's happening. But crazier shit's happened, I guess.
Frankie was.
That's on a 2019 Yamaha with like 4,600 miles on the clock. He was out there snatching up wins left and right. And Fabio and Maverick were like, oh, the bike doesn't work. Fuck off. Bike works just fine. Oh, man, that's great. All right, so creativity, pretty high. I like the meme and the idea. How about an 8?
An 8. Yeah, the deep fake there, too.
Yeah, I don't even know how he did that. I'm sure there's something on the internet. You can just plug it in.
Yeah, www.deepfake.com.
That's all you need to do. Yeah. Quality, how about a 7.5?
A 7.5. Funniness.
It didn't get a chuckle out of me, though. I understand the idea, and I was like, that's pretty good. I did laugh a little bit. What are you feeling on this one?
It's tough, because I get what he's trying to do. I get the message, but it's like, because it's just the same music.
Yeah.
Hasn't really been changed.
He said here on stream he had to use a long script thingy on his PC instead of the deepfake.com thing or whatever, so went through some effort.
Yeah.
I think the funniness for me is a 7.
A 7.
That's what I'm going to say.
I think I agree. Puts it at a 22.5.
He's tied for first place with that one.
Tied for first place. And that is the only video, so we do not have to wear our super duper cool earmuffs anymore.
Sweet.
We're all good. Next up, we have Phantom 10792.
Yeah, I'm a simple man. I like it.
Yup.
That's a good one.
I mean, it's just pure, like, to the bone.
Yeah.
Lowest hanging fruit, lowest common denominator.
It's great. You know how to get to my heart, Phantom. It's a Rossi and a Busa meme. It's great. It's excellent.
If only it had the dump pipe hanging out because it was a turbo.
If only. But it's not that godlike, is it?
Nope. Gen 1, though.
Gen 1, baby.
All right. So, our creativity.
I feel like it's either like a 1 or a 9. I'm going to get... Creativity for this.
It's 2 photos. But
you know, it's the synergy of the two coming together that counts, you know? I'm going to give it a 6.5 for creativity.
A 6.5.
Yeah.
All right. Quality.
I think I have to give it like a 6 because it is just 2 photos.
Yep.
The quality, it's just, it's 2 photos.
Funniness, though.
It is pretty funny. I liked it. I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8.
Yeah.
A rare 8 this week.
Got me a good chuckle.
20.5. Next up, we have Billiam122.
So when someone walks in on me consuming some glorious Yammie Noob content, and it's that old Papa Yam that's my old editor made, and him just eating it. Excellent. I like that. It's a good interpretation of that surprised Rossi photo. That must have been a recent Rossi photo, because I think that's his suit from either this year or last year, right?
Kind of looks like the this year suit.
Yeah, it might be this. He's also looking a little haggard there, so it's got to be recent.
Mm-hmm. When his face, when
but like, honestly,
Frankie runs out front.
Yeah. Rossi's always kind of looked like that, though. Like, if you go back in the archives and you see what he's always kind of looked like a little sick, a little kind of haggard, you know? I don't know. He's always kind of looked like that.
It's also kind of been
though.
timeless.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah, he has.
Creativity here.
Creativity. Pretty good. How about a 7?
A 7.
Yeah.
Quality.
Got the classic little Papa Yam thing, photoshopped it as him eating it, look pretty good quality. How about a 7?
A 7.
Yeah.
Funniness.
Pretty funny. How about a 7.5?
A 7.5.
Yeah.
Next up, UKA1 Boy. With one I'm not sure I entirely understand.
So he says, they showed us this, Ducati, Kawasaki, the meme contest we said, but all I saw was this, and then earplug on the Kawasaki, or earplug on the Ducati, Rossi kind of looking confused at Kawasaki, and then UKA1 Boy looking surprised. Maybe he submitted something that we really liked, and we were surprised, and was that the thing?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. The memes kind of all blur together at some point. Might be too deep of a cut for me to understand.
Yeah, unfortunately, that one kind of flew over my head there.
Yeah.
So, creativity.
It's difficult to judge because it did fly over our heads, right?
Yeah.
So do you want to just give it like a 5 across the board?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't really know what happened here, so we're gonna give you a default 15.
We kind of don't understand it. Next one, Waldo.
Says, when they finally tell you what you'll pay for that bike you fell in love with on the test ride. It do be like that, man. Sometimes those monthly payments do get to you because they sneak in that 16% financing or whatever for 86 months or whatever.
Oh, man, that brings back memories of buying the street rod at like 72 months for like 13%.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. Did you refi or pay it off?
I refied.
Okay, good. God damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I ended up refining because I was like, not doing that anymore.
I told you they quoted basically that same setup for my desert sled, right? Before I just bought it cash. They were like, oh, this could be your financing. I was like, fuck no. It's like, why the fuck would I do that? I was like, my credit score's great. What the fuck is wrong with you? 13%? Yeah, it's weird. I've heard of some folks getting like 2 or 3% on bike loans. I've never seen that personally. You got that on the you got that on the SMCR, right?
1.99%, baby.
That's good. I've never seen that, but I know that rates are way low right now, and I haven't had to, thankfully, finance a bike in many years. But
yeah, mine was like 0 down too.
That's
but
great.
I put a bunch of money down on it just to make sure I could keep it low. But I mean, you can get a bike for a packet of crisps right now.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's why I tell you guys, if you got a good credit score, go check out the rates at your dealerships because you can get some pretty good deals.
Mm-hmm. But back to our meme here. What are we going to rate the creativity?
I like this. I think the creativity for this one's a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
Quality.
I think the quality for it is a 6. It's just text and something creative, right?
I agree. Funniness, though.
A 7.5.
A 7.5.
I think.
20.5. Next up, Lost Pilgrim, who's got one local to us, actually.
Says, if I have to listen to this jackass brag about his lap times down Lime Creek one more time, I'm going to shove my helmet up his ass. So for those of you on stream or out there watching this on YouTube, Lime Creek Road is a very popular twisty road here in Austin that a lot of the fast boys goes out there and tries to lay down some lap times, quote unquote. And we like to clown on them here on Yammie Noob because it's really stupid going fast on that road. We had a guy actually die on that road not too long ago, so it goes to show you how smart it is speeding on that road. So I love this meme. It's very good.
Yeah. I also appreciate the fact, it's a subtle thing, but they put a drop shadow on the letters.
So you can read it better.
Yep. I got to give it to them. Mm-hmm. The drop shadow is nice. So, creativity.
Creativity is a 7, I think.
A 7.
Yeah.
Quality.
Well, just for the drop shadow alone.
For the drop shadow alone.
I think it's a 7.5.
A 7.5.
Yeah.
You give us a drop shadow, you get a half point. You send me a PDF.
Don't tell people that, because then they're going to drop shadow everything, trying to boost their scores up. That's not part of the rules.
Funniness.
Pretty funny. How about a 7?
A 7.
Yeah, I liked it.
21.5. We're going to have some runoffs today. Next one up is, I forgot to check, so...
From Shrimp Kick. Great username. Says, when you're 16 and people say you can't start on a 600, so you start on a 750 instead. Jeez, a 16-year-old on a 750 is crazy. Fun fact, so there was this guy I rode with at the motocross track not too long ago. Mm-hmm. His son was a 15-year-old. He was that kid that was stupid fast at the motocross track. His name is John Lohr. And because he has so much moto experience, he was actually riding a Gixxer 250 for a little bit, but his dad bought him an R6. I was like, damn, that's crazy. So imagine being 16 and having R6. That's insane.
That is
nuts.
nuts.
The coolest kid going to school, you know? Man.
Especially if you got one of the new ones.
He's got a brand spanking new one. He's got a brand spanking new R6.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just so cool.
So, our creativity for this one.
Creativity... I think a 6.
A 6.
You know, it's bottom text, top text, you know.
Quality?
I think a 6 as well. It's just a simple meme format, you know.
Mm-hmm. And
6.
Funniness.
Funniness, how about a 7? I got a good chuckle out of it.
A 7. Next up, Free Clinic.
Free Clinic, the guy that says a Versus 650 is a supermoto on Discord.
He's very wrong about that.
Says that all the time. Says, when they try to tell you A1 is a license, not the patrician condiment.
I really like that one.
That's pretty good, yeah. we should start doing that if people are like, well, what about A1? It's like, what about the steak sauce, bro? That's the most American response to that. That is really funny, actually.
I really like that.
Nice, yeah.
So, Free Clinic creativity here.
That's pretty good. How about an 8 for creativity? I think I was pretty creative.
An 8. Quality.
You know, it is just top text, bottom text, so how about a 6?
A 6.
Yeah.
But funniness, though, that got a good
9.
chuckle.
That got a good chuckle.
9.
Yeah, that's a 9. That's a good chuckle right there. 23.
Out front at 23.
Damn. All right. Ziga Trick is our final entrant here. Let's see if he can bring it home and get him at the last lap here.
This one's a 4-parter, too. So.
Okay. So it's Yammie. That's me with the ball shaver.
With the ball shaver.
Would never put it near my face. Just letting you guys know. Me. Just ear plugging. Then my girl. And then me. It's true, guys. You got to get yourself trimmed up. I really do believe that. It's not just me shilling from ball shavers. You should take care of yourself. That's pretty good. I like that.
So
I guarantee you, though, after 2 years of shilling ball shavers, people are probably just like this when they hear the ads. But you got to remember that some people are brand new to the channel. Not everyone has heard the good word of ball shavers yet. So you got to
just go shave your junk, man.
Just go shave your testicles. All right. Creativity. Pretty good. This is a 4-part story, right? How about a 7 for creativity?
A 7. All right. Why did it not write? Come on. 7. Numlock is probably on. Why is it? What the fuck? 7.
Do the top one here. Why is it not going?
What the fuck? 7.
Is the keyboard, did the battery die or something? There you go. There you go. 7. Yep.
7. There we go. Now it's working.
Yeah.
Quality.
Right at the end. Quality. I liked it. How about a 7 for quality?
A 7.
4-parter story there.
Funniness.
Got a decent chuckle. What do you think for the final score here, Spite?
I think like an 8. I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, all right, an 8. Yeah, I like that.
22.
22.
All right, so determining our winner here, it is Free Clinic is in first place.
Hey, Mr. Versus 650 Sumo.
Next up, we have, and unfortunately, I need to go back in and check our qualified, who's qualified. I don't have the sheet handy right now.
Is Germany 2 boy on a cooldown or something?
No, I'm just not sure if Free Clinic is on a cooldown.
Oh, okay.
So we should definitely go down and resolve some of our ties here, just in case. So our tie between German 2 boy with his deep fake and Chef Spritzer with, I don't remember which meme was his.
It was one before.
Chef Spritzer. This was the one about the hoodies.
Yeah. I gotta give it to Germany 2 boy. He did make a whole video.
Yeah,
right.
I think Germany 2 boy wins it there.
Yeah, but then Chef Spritzer definitely takes third because I like that meme quite a bit.
So that would be second to Germany 2 boy, again assuming that Free Clinic is able to win. Third to Chef Spritzer, and then just in case, let us determine a fourth place out of our. I believe we might have a 22 in here.
Yep, all at the very end.
Very end, fourth place. And that is assuming, again, that Free Clinic can win. Otherwise, that's who's won.
Sweet. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to another Yammcast. This has been a fun one. Thanks for everyone who submitted the fun memes for us to check out. And we'll catch you on the next one. See you later. So real bummer, this video is actually over. But you're in luck. There are hundreds of other Yammie Noob videos you can go and check out. Hit this one right over here. Watch it. Do it for Yammie-chan.